50 and a half. 25 and a quarter. What I'm really concentrating on is how many tiles wide, okay? So if I have a sliver here, a sliver there, do I really care? Because the vanity's gonna cover most of this, the toilet's right next to it, that's gonna cover the other half, there's gonna be this much tile showing on either side. Does it really matter? Not really. I wanna make sure when I come into the door that I have a nice tile, nice full tile, not a little sliver, because that looks stupid. So, let's see what happens. I'm gonna probably add a couple more here and see what it looks like at the door, and then make my decision. All right, so what I did was I cheated my line this way off center, 3/4 of an inch, okay? Reason being, it got me right to the door, and then when I put my threshold in, it's literally gonna have a full tile, a threshold with a full tile butted to it, okay? And I made sure I had enough room for my spaces, 1/8 inch spaces, okay? So, in the field, if any of you guys are carpenters, or if you're not carpenters and you wanna know how we do it, you snap a new line. You either use a different color, okay? If you have a red line for your regular line, and you change dimensions, use blue, okay? Or take your pencil, put the tip of it on the new line, make a line, go back to that same spot, make another line. So you're making just like a little V. So it shows whoever's coming in after you, or your tile guy, or for yourself, you come in and start laying tile, you go back to that first line you snapped, and then you feel stupid when you get to the end. You're like, damn, what did I do? That's what you did. You went to the wrong line, dummy. All right, now I'm on to dry fitting tiles the long way, okay? Figuring out what kind of pattern I want to use, what kind of waste I'm going to have left. Okay, the worst thing is to cut one of these tiles and then not be able to use it. I don't grout the edges when it comes to it. I use like a sanded caulk that they send you, okay, little silicone. I do that around the edges, and then I can do my tile base. Okay, sometimes you see wood base. This had wood base in the bathroom, but I'm going to use tile base, okay? But once again, on the bottom course, it'll have that silicone base that's, you know, sanded caulk with silicone. So it's not going to be regular grout. Regular grout will crack, and you also want to give room for expansion contraction. So if you fill that up with grout, and then there's any movement, it's all cracking around the edges, okay? I cut these tiles in half. I count how many rows, okay? And I cut how many tiles I would need to split it up and change that look to get on that halfway line, that staggered brick look, okay? If I cut one of these tiles in half, my bathroom works out perfectly, where I can use half down here that I cut with the cut side out, facing out, with the good side in. And then on the other end, I'll be able to use the other half of that, good side in, cut side facing the wall, okay? So, no waste. I don't know how the heck I did it, but I did it. Now I just gotta figure out how many tiles I have to cut in half. So I'll measure this thing, I'll dry lay them all and go, all right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Cut 6 in half. There's both ends, plus all my middle. Oh my God. I'm a genius. All right, so we're gonna get ready to mix some mortar. Get this 253 gold ladder crate that I got from my buddy at work, okay? Thin set mortar, all right? This is what sticks your tiles to your floor, okay? I'm actually using a battery operated mixer with my drill. Can't say I recommend it. I would use an electric but it actually works pretty good. As long as you don't fill your bucket and then try to use this, because this thing's not strong enough. A little bit at a time, a little bit at a time, okay? Follow the directions on this, that's important, all right? Most important. Why am I bending over like this? I don't know. Also, I do recommend wearing a mask, an N93, 95, whatever the heck no one could find for the last year, something like that, or a respirator, or a dust cover, anything that you can wear to help, because when you put this stuff in the bucket, you're going to be breathing that in, and when you start mixing, it comes up until it gets all wet, and then you're fine. Alright, so after you mix it up, you got to wait 5 to 10 minutes, the bag says, by Grey Gris. Grey Gris, I think Gris is gray. I say it twice like I know what I'm talking about. Grey Gris. Anyway, 5 to 10 minutes of wait time, and then remix that bucket up, carry it upstairs and start dropping tile. So for now, me and Vader are going to do some one-wheeling baby for 5 minutes. Never grow up, or just grow up enough to get paid, but then don't grow up all the way. That's my motto. All right, so subfloor. I'm not replacing my subfloor. My subfloor actually looked excellent in that bathroom, okay? Most of the time, it's not. It's usually rotted out around the toilet or somewhere like that. But mine wasn't. Mine actually looked pretty good. Scraped off all the excess crap that was on there from before. The floor looks great. It was actually nice and level. So, somebody's sneaking up on me. Anyway, so I'm not replacing the floor. They do recommend like a waterproof membrane that you can put down. I'm not saying I don't recommend it, but I'm not using it, okay? This is a half bath, a toilet and a sink. There ain't gonna be loads of water going on the floor or nothing, so I'm not doing it. This is notched trowel, okay? I have two of them, a big one and a small one. 1/4 inch, okay? This is for, you know, good sized tile for the floor, okay? Smaller tiles, it's usually smaller groove, less than 1/4. This one's 1/4 inch, okay? I'm gonna do, this is what's gonna spread my thin set mortar, okay? And then I'm gonna drop my tiles right in that bad boy, okay? So I smear that crap on, that stuff on like cake frosting, and then I'm gonna run this thing through it with the teeth, okay? So you're gonna see lines from the teeth. Basically, this thing's flat, I hold it at a 45, just the teeth. Alright, it's 11:30. I started at 9:30, so this is about 2 hours. Okay, this gap right here is going to get filled once I rip out this little transition and then put a marble threshold in. This will get ripped out so it'll butt right up against this tile. Nice. Okay, I definitely had a couple issues in the back there. I had a piece in the back in a few spots. I won't lie. That tile cutter, not too great. Not too great on long cuts. Next up, I got my grout sponge. Okay, this is gonna help me smear it into the crevices. And I got a bucket of water and a sponge. That's what you're gonna need. Okay, as you're wiping this grout in or rubbing this grout in, you're gonna go back over it after a couple minutes, and you're gonna clean off any of that extra stuff that's gonna be all over your tile. As you go, try to clean it off. When you're done, it's gonna dry, you're gonna have a haze over it. You're gonna have to go back and hit it again after like a half hour or so, and then probably again and again and again. And then they make a cleaner that actually helps you take off that haze. So. Right, so this is my first pass. I'm gonna wait about 20 minutes, come back, wipe it down with a wet sponge, bring that bad boy out, and do it again and again, probably like 2 or 3 times, okay? Thanks for watching Johnny Works, and as the great Jackie Moon once said, ELE, everybody love everybody.